Would you mind telling me your name? Who are you?
Caldera. Most people just call me Cal. I'm sorry if you have trouble spelling that. People at Starbucks have a great time with it sometimes.
And, this is quite the place you have.
Yeah. Okay, Google. Turn on everything! I'll never knock entertainment out of that shit. I get asked how many machines I have, more than I'd expect. I have to like mentally count it in my head. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 21, 22. Like there's like nearly 25. Like you could hear the thing go good morning, right? Like walking down the hallways, that's what you're fucking expect, like. Yeah, arcade games are silly. You're not really supposed to have them in your apartment for what it's worth. When I got my Dance Dance Revolution machine, which was the second machine I ever got, I had just been calling up arcades all over the state trying to find a DDR machine. And our whole concept was, what if I just buy one off of an arcade? Hey, I have money, and I want that machine, and I can come pick it up. You interested? And they'll be like, no. And then if they realize, wait, we're not making any money on this machine, they're like, okay, what's your offer? $2,000? I'll be like, sure. And that's how it like kind of started, and people don't like think about that as like a strategy that you can do. There's these distribution importers that literally will import containers full of these things, like a whole shipping container from Japan at a time. Just like these dudes that have built up these networks, and one of them is known as Game Saru, which is where a decent few cabinets in this apartment have came from. That dude's imported them from Japan and imports containers from Japan. It has warehouse, and it's like, oh yeah, he ships them across the country, or he can come pick them up. And it's like, I'm helping funnel cabinets out of Japan that would otherwise get put in the landfill. That's kind of cool, actually. I do all the actual maintenance repairs as much as I can on my own. Half of it isn't even doing like my own electronics work or that. It's really following as much information and finding as much information as I can about the cabinets that even exist. Like poppin' music. I had to bring up the entire schematic on all of the wiring, then individually pin one to pin here, pin one to pin here for the whole thing, and chop up power supplies to get the whole thing working. It's like, you have to source the buttons, you have to source the parts, like, and that's intense. Like, it's physical labor. It's weird physical labor. It's like I do as much repair work as I can, but I'm also wary on, I know my limits. I know, like, when I'm doing this repair, if I fuck it up, I could kill something completely different. You want to be really careful when doing that when you're working with pieces of hardware that might not even exist anymore. Home use for arcade games is much different than when you have them in an arcade. They're supposed to be making frickin' money, right? The whole point of these things is to suck quarters out of people. If you look at any single flyer for any arcade game, it's not advertised for the people playing it. It's advertised for the arcade to buy the dang thing. Some of them have literally told, like, would just have figures of, like, this game makes this much per week at this size arcade versus this other game, and this other game that would be, like, competition. There's, like, a disconnect between, like, when you have all of these and you can just keep them on free play and then actually, you know, trying to make money off an arcade. That's why you put them on the floor, to make money. And it's weird because most people have fond memories of some of these games. They really were made to just make quarters and make money for the arcade. And if the arcade's not making money, why are they going to even have an arcade in the first place? It's like, I love all of these games, and some of them I like just a little bit more. Like that one behind me. Make it funky. There's so many games in that series. Beatmania, Beatmania second mix, Beatmania third mix, Beatmania fourth, Beatmania seventh mix, which is right behind me, which out of my collection, there's a reason I'm running that game in specific. It's something of like a soft spot for me, where that one's like the one that always got underappreciated. You can tell that by that point, Beatmania was on its way out. Seventh mix was still apparent with the weird soul that they were trying to capture. One of the songs in that game is Caldera. Terrible song. If anyone were to actually listen to that song, it's like fucking clown music. It's not about it, just it feels good. It feels nice. It feels good to be weird. It's weird, sounds wonky, and I love it. You can tell that the dude that made it had a damn good time making it, and isn't that what we're here for?
So tell me about your 24-hour streams.
Oh, buddy. This is our 9th year doing them under kind of brand. It didn't really even start as like that big of a brand. It's called Extra Life. Extra Life it's gotten a lot larger over the years. Essentially started as a way to raise money for different children's hospitals. And the whole point of it was you play games for 24 hours, you'd have a fundraising page set up, you would have people donate, and then you would choose a hospital of your choice to donate towards. For us, we do Hurley Children's Hospital in Flint, Michigan. Where it all got weird, I would say, is the pandemic. We did all 3 of these streams with like a 2-month span, which doing 3 24-hour shotgun streams in a 2-month span, what the? That is a good way of wicking your brain out big time.
3, 2, we did it! 2 seconds left!
Because it's, you know, you play 24 hours for a live stream for a cause, kind of wicks you out. But when it's during the pandemic and we're all inside and we're all doing nothing but just playing on our computer anyway. I saw the poster for the Left 4 Dead level No Mercy and I was like, that's awesome. Let's do that.
Everyone in here. Now let's go!
And we did Meals on Wheels. And Meals on Wheels during the pandemic seemed like a very legitimate cause. April 2020 is when we were doing these streams. Those are the first 2.
Oh, we got the falling ending! Yes, I think we got the falling ending!
We raised, I think, over $1,000 during that set of streams from Meals on Wheels. The third No Mercy stream, I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation, I apologize, Babab Ferre, which is a South African authentic cuisine owned by an immigrant that moved to the States and got a grant to open a small business in Detroit. My sister knew him, Mamba, excellent human being. We were able to organize it to raise funds over the stream to cater food from an immigrant-owned small business that was about to open soon in Detroit, and catered it to these to 16 hospital workers at the height of the pandemic. Like, that's an insane phrase to even like say out loud. And we were able to cater food to them doing this twice. And it was like, how did that all come together? It's like, what the like, I say all of that happening, it's like, that's ridiculous. Me and my friends, just as these dingus gamers, raise a few $100s just for playing random games during the pandemic, and did that? Like, that's insane. That was really an important and inspirational stream, even if it's just like one of the ones that got passed along. It's just another one we did.
There's only like 5 things I'm keeping track of right now. I got you. Alright, what are other schizophrenia infused background videos? Yes! Yes! Ah, God! Marcy said play Among Us. That's coming later when everyone's available. Countdown starts! Holy shit! Oh my god, I didn't even look up!